I've got a question here. Someone's saying, I feel lonely and depressed and don't know how to help myself. How does Islam help with that?
So, just to add on to what Mufti said, when the underlying cause of your relationship is not only blood, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, that helps in a great way. Because ultimately you know that we are together not only because of blood, but because Allah made us blood, and I have to look after this person. And I have to keep with this person, and I can't break my relationship. And if it is broken, I will mend that tie. With regards to loneliness, many people send me messages saying, I feel lonely, I feel like I'm within my family, but nobody understands me, I'm all alone, I don't feel like I have anyone in my life. And there are two approaches. First and foremost, repair your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remedy that loneliness. Why? Because when you fill your heart with Allah, then you will not need and require and desperately search and look for the companionship of others. Why? Because you have the companionship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And secondly, look into your usage of social media and how you are using it. Oftentimes, we are not using it, we are abusing it. And this is the underlying cause in a lot of these cases. They are using social media hours on end. And what essentially you are doing now, social media is not as social as it was when it started. You are now interacting with a screen that suggests certain content to you that you've been clicking on, and I implore you to look at your feeds. What do your feeds have? Do they have your cousin and your uncle and your aunt and your friend and your brother? Most of the content that you are seeing is suggested to you by an algorithm because of what you clicked on. It has nothing to do with social interaction anymore. So what you're doing is you are isolating yourself, and people around you are also isolating themselves without realizing. You know, sometimes I think of the irony of it. You are sitting in bed, your spouse is sitting in bed, and instead of talking to each other, you are sending each other reels on Instagram. You are sending but you're sitting next to each other. Hey, did you check that which I sent you? Why can't you put the phone down and talk to each other, stare into her eyes, gaze into her eyes and smile at her? Sometimes we are guilty of that which we say as well. So we realize that it's a problem, and you need to invest more time in your relationships. So sometimes just have no phone time, where we're going to put phones away and we're just going to talk to each other, and we're going to interact with each other. And this really helps remedy that isolation that you feel and that loneliness that you feel. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to fill our hearts with Him such that we don't feel